I will be rating all the episodes of The Boys Season 5. Let's see if they delivered or fumbled. Episode 1, 15 inches of sheer dynamite. This starts off with Homelander giving a speech to the annual VOT shareholder meeting conference thing. Annie is disguised as a firecracker extra so she can expose the video of Flight 37, I think. This video does nothing to really impact Homelander negatively in terms of the public because they just said it's AI and it's fake and everyone just moved on. However, this video did make Homelander set the bait for everyone to try and save Huey, Butcher, and Milk. Ashley is the vice president and married to O-Father, so I guess good for her. We get a very funny Homelander moment where he's like, I want everyone to devote their lives to me. Have you seen the memes about me? Butcher might have killed his dad. Yeah. Butcher goes and finds Kimiko and Annie so they can set the boys free in the camp. They all know it's a trap. They go there. Homelander is there. Shit gets crazy. A-Train comes in and saves Huey even though he ends up dying. Huey got mad at Annie for saving Frenchie first and not being there for the fight. Bro, grow up. I don't even know how you're still alive, Huey, so just be grateful. I personally find the Deep really funny and we do get some good moments in this episode. People want this guy dead. I know. Oh yeah, how can I forget? Kimiko can speak now. Initially, when I first watched this episode, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool and interesting, but as more episodes get released, I'm kind of like, oh, maybe she should have just stopped. Overall, for a first episode of the season, I think this is really good. I think it's an A-tier episode. Episode 2, Teenage Kicks. It starts off with A-Train's funeral service type thing with O-Father. He says that Starlighters are possessed by demons and they eat babies. Yeah, okay, boy, okay. The boys find out that Butcher has still been working on the virus with Samir. Samir thinks his daughter is dead. The virus is ready and they want to test it. So they are going to go to Rock Hard because nobody cares about him. Easy kill. They get to him and he's literally rock hard, just massive. He has been ejaculating and that's why he's so big. Imagine how many times he had to do that to get to this size. Okay, maybe don't imagine it, but you know what I mean. Initially, Huey and Kimiko are scared that the virus is going to kill all soups and possibly humans. Kimiko doesn't want to die, but later on she comes to the conclusion that, you know what, maybe I should die so that other people don't die. It's her way to give back for the people she has killed. Meanwhile, Annie also doesn't mind dying because she feels guilty for all the Starlighters who have died and who are getting rounded up, so she is willing to take this risk. Soldier Boy comes back because Homelander feels a little bit lonely. He tells him to go find Butcher. He does do that. He ends up getting exposed to the virus with Rockhard and this other teenager. They all die, so it seems, but at the end of the episode, Soldier Boy didn't die. Imagine they brought him back just for one episode. That would have been funny. I think this is a very good episode. It has some funny moments. Everything that happens is interesting. We see the virus in action. A-tier episode. Episode 3, Every One of You Sons of. Butcher wants Ryan to sacrifice himself, take the V1 to Homelander, kill Homelander, and of course he dies as well, but hey, Homelander is dead. Butcher really cares about nobody now. While trying to look for Butcher, Zoe ends up finding her dad Samir. Samir thought she was dead, so he got pissed, destroyed a bunch of the virus. They leave. Because of this, Ryan can't do the plan and he ends up just going to Homelander regardless because he is stupid. Firecracker and Soldier Boy have relations physically. They are asking Stan Edgar for help to find the V1. Stan Edgar gets captured by the Deep and Noir. The Deep ditches Noir, takes Stan Edgar because he wants all the credit. The Deep just seems like a bot to me. He's not a real person. Everything he says, the way he speaks, it's all just like, who are you? Ryan goes to speak to Homelander and he gets beat up really badly. I don't know what he expected. Annie flies away because Huey almost died because Translucent's son Maverick wanted to kill him because Huey lied to him that Homelander killed his dad even though Huey is the one that did do that. I really find Huey and Annie just so boring. I just don't care. Homelander sees a vision of an angel and now he thinks that he is the chosen one. Not even the chosen one. He thinks that he is the one doing the choosing, that he is God. I will give this a B tier rating. Episode 4, King of Hell. Homelander tells Firecracker that he is God, I guess. The boys go to Fort Harmony to look for V1 and they all get riled up and super angry and they start to fight. Honestly, what a waste of time. Why are you guys fighting? We already know nobody is going to die. You're telling me in the final season of the show somebody important is going to die in this random episode? Yeah, right. Annie goes to see her dad after like 10-20 years. This was interesting. This episode wasn't the best, but this Annie stuff was decent. The V1 isn't there and they think Bomb Sight has it. Soldier Boy traps Homelander in this cage which has like enhanced uranium, I'm pretty sure. Soldier Boy also ends up killing Quinn because Frenchie basically just baits him into doing it. Quinn is the person who's making everyone super angry. This is a C tier episode. Episode 5, One Shot. It starts off with them having a meeting about the Democratic Church of America. Homelander has a Bible now because why not? I mean, if you're going to be God, you need a Bible, right? We get a look into Firecracker and the internal struggle she was having with Homelander wanting to be God. She did the most dumb thing possibly ever. She told Soldier Boy about this. I know you guys are doing physical shit together, but this doesn't mean you can trust him. We get an amazing scene where she has to backstab her old pastor or reverend or whatever, and she has one tear drop down. The actor for Firecracker is so good. She killed that scene. Possibly one of the best scenes this season. At the end, Homelander ends up killing her because, well, it's her fault. Why did you not just leave when he said go? I think this death is pretty mid. Oh no, not even mid. I think it's bad. I feel like it's not really interesting. It's pretty boring to me. Soldier Boy and Homelander went to LA and they were in this house with a bunch of comics. This was so funny to me because at some point to just have Homelander sitting in the corner like a fucking antisocial person. Everyone in that house ends up dying and they learn that Bomb Sight potentially has V1. Sage reveals her plan to Ashley and her plan stinks. Smartest person in the world and you have the most boring plan, bro. Get out of here. I'm done with her. I'm done with you. Black Noir and Deep have this feud going on. The Deep ends up killing his acting instructor and Noir gets pissed. Overall, this is an entertaining episode, but Firecracker death was boring, Sage plan was boring, so it has to be C tier because those are two big things that are just underwhelming. Episode 6, Though the Heavens Fall. Main thing in this episode is Homelander gets the V1 because Soldier Boy gives him to him. Soldier Boy said he gave it to him because of his love for Stormfront. I don't like that explanation. I thought he was going to break it. Since when does Soldier Boy suddenly care about Homelander so much? I don't buy it. The Deep killed Black Noir and I'm sorry, this was pretty bad. Black Noir, fight back, bro. Like all of a sudden you just don't know how to use your powers? Fly, do something. I don't even really mind that the Deep was able to do this, but at least give me a cool death. Sister Sage tries to advance her stupid plan by going to the boys, telling them that they should work together, get Bomb Sight, get the V1, which didn't work. You are not smart. Annie got beat by O-Father, which people didn't really like this because she should be stronger, I guess, but I don't know. I've kind of just lost hope for her in terms of that. Overall, this was an episode for sure. I think it was decent. I give this a C tier just because Soldier Boy, I don't understand his motives at all. Sister Sage is a fraud. C tier episode. Episode 7, The Frenchman, the Female, and the Man Named Mother's Milk. Second to last episode, and they finally bring Gen V into the season. They had a total of 2 minutes of screen time basically, and the reason why Annie didn't use them this whole time is because she said Marie cannot control her powers, even though in the Gen V season she does control it at the end of the last season pretty well. So I don't really know if that's a good explanation. As well as like Annie, you are not the strongest person to be saying that she can't control her powers. Marie is super powerful. Homelander has V1. You guys should be desperate right now. Frenchie ends up dying here, and I think they did this very badly. They don't even show Homelander killing him because I don't even know why. That's just a bad decision. And if you really break it down, Frenchie died because his phone fell and it broke. I didn't know modern phones could break that easily on one fall. The chemical uranium thing they were doing seems like it worked, so in the last episode, we shall see if this has any impact. The fish want their get back on the Deep, which I found super funny. The Deep may not have a very, crucial storyline in this season, but I love his scenes, bro. He's just so funny. Soldier Boy gets choked out and put back into the freezer. I kinda didn't like this because you're telling me this is how his story ends in The Boys? Just getting back into the freezer? That's kinda mid. As well as that whole sequence was so bad. Like, give us a cool fight at least. I'll be real, I think this is a F tier episode because this has made me think that the final episode is going to be bad. I am recording this before the final episode, so maybe I am wrong. No, hopefully I am very wrong. Episode 8, Blood and Bone. This wasn't completely horrible, I will admit. This was okay. Starting off with Homelander, he finally gets killed, and I think that whole sequence and that whole fight with him, Ryan, Butcher, Kimiko, I'll be real, the fighting, the choreography is so mid. The whole season it has been mid. I don't know why, but these guys cannot really deliver cool, good fighting scenes. I did like Ryan coming back and helping. Honestly, I didn't think they would do that, so I guess that was good. Homelander losing his powers, he starts to beg Butcher not to kill him. I thought that was really well done. I also did like that this was all being live filmed to the whole world. That was cool because you get to see Homelander humiliated in front of the whole world. Ashley helping them was good for her character ending, even though it was so funny that after everything that happened, she said that she did nothing wrong and was not going to resign. She ends up getting impeached. The Deep gets killed by all the fish. I think this was super obvious in terms of seeing this happening. I liked the Deep in this season, but at the same time, his story and whatever he had going on wasn't that important. So I don't know, take that as you will. So after Homelander is dead, Butcher wants to kill all the soups. I mean, this was fairly obvious that he wasn't going to do it. If he was going to do it, as Huey said, he would have just pressed the button before Huey showed up. Personally, I didn't really love this scene. I thought it was okay, but I'm not really super impressed, or it didn't really get me emotionally. Overall, this was a decent final episode. I think it's not anything amazing or anything like that, but it does the job, I guess. I do understand people who are saying that they wanted to see Homelander really snap. We never ever got that. Things also did feel a little bit rushed as well because you have an hour to wrap up everything. So it's just going to feel a little bit rushed. Overall, I would give this a C tier rating. The Boys is finally over, and even though this wasn't a insanely good season, I still think it has its moments in terms of entertainment wise. Overall, I'm not gonna lie and say I loved it, but I thought it was okay. If I had to rate the whole season, I would probably put it in C tier. Now, even though it's not a horrible season for me, I still think it's very underwhelming, and I wish it ended off on a high note because, that would be really cool. But at least it's not worse than the Stranger Things final season.